Another race at Oschersleben in week 13. Intentionally, I started from the back again. This track has several corners, in particular turn 1, that are full of promising chaos every single time. We've got both the left and right side clear, so we should be able to go through here quite nicely. However, the car on the right is now going too slow, and we're making our way through it. They were too cautious, and we go through here ourselves. Car's off on the left, that's fine. We're just going to make our way through here peacefully. But that one's on me. I think I did tighten up the corner too much, and I'll take the blame on that one on myself. Then we get bumped a little and lose some of the positions that we've just made up. Despite struggling with this particular turn, I'm trying to set myself up for a nice run onto this little straight here so that we can hopefully stay close to the cars ahead and make a move. Several cars usually do go off, especially in lap 1 on this left-hand turn, and there goes one as well, and we take advantage of the situation by simply staying on track. I'm going to be cautious here for myself on the brakes, as cars do tend to brake at different spots than I would have, and I don't want to slam into them. So we want to stay far away from them, keeping the distance to them roughly the same. That's my goal usually here in lap 1, to keep the distance between me and the cars the same, unless they're clearly a target for overtaking. Another situation here with this long straight where I'm going onto the left, we're wary of the red car behind, but they're moving back into the draft and they're going back on the racing line, so they're not going to lunge here at us from the distance. Again, trying to stay with the cars ahead and try to capitalize on any mistakes that any one of them would be making. I'm trying to push for a move here because they were slower than me, but I do back out, and that has then allowed the car behind us to make its way past us. But I'm getting a good exit out of this last turn here compared to the other cars, and we can follow the red car in its draft as we go past the white car ahead of us. One car goes by the white car, and now we go as well. Do I want to make the lunge? I'm debating it, and then I decide better of it. It's not worth it, risking it in lap 2, at the beginning of lap 2. So we just tuck behind them, and another lap, another go. Car's gone off here, we're going to navigate around them, at least trying to, but we're kind of stuck here at this point, so let's see what happens in the future. I get a slight tap on my right rear bumper, but we are not fazed by that, and we can continue through the turn. Everyone is fine. Too wide, we have to let the car go. I don't think I have the right line to make it through that next turn on the left, so let's back out and not compromise our own line through here. One car goes off in front of us, perfect, alright, so one position lost on that straight, one position gained. And now again, pressure from behind, pressure from the cars in front that they are trying to pull away, but we want to stay with them. Going through this particular turn, again, I'm told I should be able to go through here full throttle, but I do have to lift because otherwise that right turn here, I'm not sure if I could go through it the way I am or if I need to brake for the right-hand turn. Still, more to learn, that's why I love iRacing, always more to learn. Setting ourselves up on this particular straight here, trying to catch up to the cars ahead. And as they are going through this particular turn, trying to keep an eye on what their lines are, if there's going to be perhaps trouble. One of them goes a little wide, and now this one car takes out 3 of them all in one go, and we have a clear run down the straight. The car that's still ahead did have a compromised exit now out of that last turn, and we can go through here onto the straight and have a clear run to the end of it. Turn 1, at the end of turn 1, trying to figure out new lines, braking straight, then turning, then braking. Still experimenting with which way is better, which way is correct actually. As we avoided that incident on the last turn with these 3 cars going into each other, the car behind us has now caught up to us and overtaken us at the end of this straight, so we've got another car to follow here. It's a constant tug and go, I suppose. We lose some, we win some spots, and that's the way it goes. Week 13, this particular race is from week 13, so there were 20-ish cars, 19 cars on the grid, so quite a few, and we started in the back, and we're going to end up in the points still, I believe, so that was an excellent way to make our way forward. Perhaps I should be qualifying rather than starting from the back. I'm just still a little bit nervous about starting inside the middle of the pack on cold tires. I need to practice more with cold tires. That's one of the things I need to do this season, practice on cold tires. We're just going to follow this car for a little while, trying to see what lines they're taking. Are the lines different than us? Are they pulling away from us with these different lines? It's a learning experience. Having a car in front of us is always a learning experience for me, because I can study their lines and see if they are faster and pulling away on these different lines, and then try to adapt that as well. In one of the other races, I was able to gain almost 3 seconds by just letting a faster car pass and following in their line and trying to mimic their braking and acceleration points. Where their braking points are, we can tell when the brake lights go on. I usually try to keep the distance the same in that case, and then once I know that they're pulling away, that's when I know that that's when they go back on the throttle, or just stop braking. That's when the lights go off, of course. That's the key. Those are the cues I use. We've got a red car here in front of us, so I'm going to see if I can mimic the overtake, the pass of that car on the one in front of us that is faster than us and pulling away from ourselves here. If you are following my journey from rookie to A license, which should happen anytime now, I'm currently at the D license. This season I'm going to go up to C license for sure, and then eventually A license. If you're following my journey, hit the like and subscribe button. It does help the channel out, and happy to have you on board. Thanks very much. Now back to this. The red car is now in front of us, and we need to figure out how to get around them. Fortunately though, they do get out of our way by taking an unusual line. Perhaps they were distracted by having seen us in the mirror, or perhaps they just didn't know what to do, lost connectivity, who knows. Either way, we're now past them, trying again to catch up to the car ahead of us, because they were giving us some good cues on the racing line, and trying to get closer to them so that I can actually see their brake lights to confirm where their braking points are. With these race recaps, I try to document my progress and thought process in Iracing, as well as trying to learn a video editing software. That's really one of the other pieces of learning that's going on here. Iracing itself and video editing. This is quite the long straight, so as I also try to document my thought process here, what is it like to be in this? This is my 3rd season of iRacing now. I have a D license in the sports car. I think I should have gotten up to the C license earlier, but I just kept driving the Mazda rookie classes. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to get better at the car, and I'm not where I want to be yet, but I've improved significantly from where I was when I started, so there's always good learning to come from it. This season though, I'm going to go into the mixed classes as well as the GT4. So stay tuned for that. We're getting rather close to this car ahead of us, so I'm going to try and see if I can set up an overtake on here. Usually my overtakes so far have been relying on the car in front making a mistake and then us not making a mistake in that same particular corner. But lately I have been trying with setting up my own overtakes in 2 particular ways. One of them, they had a wide exit here, so that's good to remember for the future, so we can get a little bit closer. And maybe the last turn of this particular course, the racetrack, might also be an opportunity, because it does bend somewhat similar to this turn where they just went wide. They're going wide again here, so perhaps us just being there is unsettling them a little bit. But yeah, so far I've been working on 2 particular ways to overtake. One is, as you can see here, trying to get a later apex and then a better run out of the corner. And the other one is, of course, the typical, let's just pretend we're going to make a lunge and then actually not make a lunge, but unsettling the car in front of us, the driver in front of us, enough that they think we're going to make a move and then they miss their braking points. There's another car here. They're going to get out of our way very nicely. Good. This back marker. With that, we didn't lose too much time, but the colorful car ahead of us has pulled away a little bit, so we're gonna catch up to them again. This corner here is the worst one for me on this particular track. This is the one where I know I'm doing it wrong and I don't know how I should be doing it better. On the other hand, this left turn here, the sequence of left turns, I do enjoy that one quite very much. Using a combination of throttle and braking to get the car to turn, and then trying to apex later on this particular right-hander here. Alright, now the car in front of us has pulled away quite significantly. I don't think we're going to be able to overtake them unless they make a significant mistake and go off track. There's always hope for that. Another car in front of us here has come into view, so maybe that'll slow them down a little bit. But ultimately, for us, the race is over. I did manage to get into the points. I started from P18 or 19, somewhere in the back of the field, and did manage to get into the points in this week 13. I kept it mostly clean, only a very few off tracks, and iRating, safety rating went up. Again, if you follow my journey from rookie to A license, hit the like and subscribe button. Happy to have you on board. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.